lot of us know by now how damaging stress can become, but we likely don't understand when we're under stress until we're feeling that breaking point of being stressed out. But there's a whole other side to stress where it's unconscious, where we don't even know that we're operating in a stressful way. That unconscious stress can slowly manifest itself into physical diseases, into mental health disorders, and just overall with not being able to sustain happiness. So where does this stress come from, and how can we deal with it when we aren't conscious of it? Yo, it's your friendly neighborhood knucklehead, and in this video, we're gonna break down where our stress is coming from and how to start operating throughout our day by dismantling the unconscious stress that can come up and manifest itself in different ways. So first of all, what is stress? I think a lot of us consider stress almost as if it's an emotion, like feeling stressed out. I understand when I'm under a great deal of stress, but I think we should start thinking about stress in a different way. Sister Shivani defined stress as a fraction of pressure divided by resilience. So when you have a lot of resilience, your stress goes down and down and down. You can manage that pressure better. But when your resilience stays fixed and you keep adding pressure, all of a sudden that stress starts to bubble over. And although we might think that stress can come from external things like our environment or certain situations that come up, it's actually an internal affair. Because here's the situation. If we were in a stressful environment, when we remove ourselves from that environment, that would make all our stress go away, right? If it was just coming from the environment, all we would have to do is leave the environment, and then the stress will be gone, right? That's not really how it works. There's all of these residual of things that come up within us. There's that pressure. The unconscious stress is coming up through that external thing, making us conscious about it. It's almost like that environment is showing us the kind of stress and pressure we have going on internally without us really knowing about it. So what are these things going on internally that we don't know about? Like I said in the last video, a lot of the time it is coming from our suppressed and repressed emotions. These are things that happen when we were growing up. These are things that happen throughout the day. We eventually are programmed to repress our emotions, to suppress our emotions. And then when we find ourselves in different kinds of situations, those situations can trigger those suppressed emotions coming out. Like, have you ever been driving with somebody who's not known to be like an angry person? They're very easygoing. Could be a friend, could be a family member. But as soon as someone cuts them off in traffic, they're like,
"What are you doing?
What is this guy doing?"
They just snap. Well, the reality is they had internal anger that was being suppressed, and all it took was one person doing something silly, driving their car, to really let that repressed anger out. But it's in those moments that we can actually become more self-aware. We can actually see the emotions that we've been repressing through those moments of snapping. Michael Singer calls this low-hanging fruit. Those are the things that we can start with when we become more conscious, when we become more self-aware to the fact that we have been repressing or suppressing emotions. And then when those emotions get triggered, when they come up, we have the choice to be able to react to it or we can respond to it. But that response takes time. That reaction is immediate. What did they do, right? But that response takes time. What emotion just came up for me? Where is this coming from? And then we can even start
Letting it go.
and this is how we can really start making a difference in our lives, really start reducing the amount of stress that we're under, letting those things come up when we get those stressful triggers, having the awareness to identify that these triggers are coming up because of something repressed within us, and then sitting with whatever that emotion is, dealing with it, telling ourselves it's okay, letting it go. Relieving our stress is known to cure sicknesses, relieve pain, just all types of health benefits come from being able to reduce the amount of stress we are under. And a lot of times we think we need to do something to reduce our stress. We need to get out into nature. We need to start meditating. We need to go to bed early. We need to exercise. All of those things are great things, and they probably will reduce your stress momentarily. But when we go back to these unconscious patterns, eventually we're just gonna go back to our old habits. But yeah, adding those positive, healthy things to our lifestyle is going to make a difference. But we still need to get rid of the weight that is still attached to us from the past. Getting rid of that weight is going to elevate us more than any of that other stuff. Now, I talk more about the letting go technique in the last video I did, which is gonna be up here, and that's gonna be on reducing anxiety. But if you're interested in working with me personally on this kind of stuff, check out the link in the comments, which is where you'll see a free coaching video. Aside from that, make sure you're subscribed and keep an eye on this playlist of artistic advice and awareness. Thank you so much for watching, and stay creative.